Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first Jake's Take exclusive interview of 2023. I'm your host, Jacob Elyachar, the chief content producer and writer of jakestake.com, a pop culture entertainment news website. If you're listening to this conversation, please give us a 5-star rating and please download this podcast. I'm very honored and thrilled to welcome one of my all-time favorite guests for the first time on the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar podcast platform. They are a cello rock duo. They are one of America's Got Talent's greatest music acts of all time. They have shared the stage from Flo Rida, Kellie Pickler, Ricky Martin, will.i.am, and 2 cellos. As of this recording, they have over 20,600 Instagram followers, 41,300 YouTube subscribers, and over 161,000 followers on 68,000 followers on Facebook. So please help me welcome back Emil and Dariel.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jacob. That was a beautiful intro. Couldn't have said it better.
Gentlemen, it's an honor to finally meet you in person because over the past couple of years, if you read my interviews on jakes.shake.com, we've only corresponded. This is the first time all three of us are in Zoom and meeting face to face.
That's right. Jake, thank you for having us. It's great to be here.
Gentlemen, it's a pleasure to have you, both of you here. So, guys, it's been over 7 years since we last spoke. So how have you grown as musicians since the last time we corresponded?
Emil, want to start that one off?
Absolutely, yeah. So it has been quite a bit of time, and I think last time we were on TV, we were just, quite frankly, little kids, and over the years, we've had a lot of shared life experiences together. We've done a lot of shows, been through a lot of stuff, and I think we've definitely matured, and our music kind of shows that music is an expression. It expresses your soul. And the older you get, the more experience you have, the you become different and you change. And I think we've grown for the better. I think we have, definitely lived and learned and just been sharing our love for music with the whole world.
Yeah. To add to what Emil's saying, absolutely. We've learned from each other as performers, as musicians, and maturing kind of gives you a better understanding of how to understand the music you're playing. And also just performing. We've been performing so much since our first time on AGT. We've got to travel the world. So getting to perform a lot has really taught us a lot about not only ourselves, but about the people that we play for, the audience. We've learned how to interact with an audience, how to expect what they expect to hear from us, and how to deliver. So it comes with age, and we're really proud of the road that we've traveled.
And I'm so proud of you guys as well. I've seen you growing up so much. And your artistry you continue to expand on your artistry, and I'm so proud of you. So I want to get to the question. Why did you decide AGT All-Stars over Champions? Because in all honesty, I thought Champions Season 2 would have been so much fantastic with both of you in it.
Well, it's interesting. They changed the branding from Champions to All-Stars. And, really was never an idea of ours to go back on AGT. Since the first show, we've been traveling the world and we've been so happy. We really feel like all our dreams came true. And we were so happy with how everything played out since our first time on the show. Really, we went on AGT All-Stars because they contacted us and said, hey, you're one of the favorite acts of all time. This is a show where we're doing all the favorite acts. Some are winners, some are finalists from previous seasons. And we'd love to have you guys on the show. And not only just have us on the show, we were also the first to open the show. So nobody knows this in the way that it was aired. We were aired in the fourth, I believe it was the 4th episode, but we were actually the very first act to perform on All Stars. So we
way.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we kicked off AGT All Stars. Yep.
Oh my God.
It was honestly a huge honor just to be able to be called like, hey, would you guys like to come? We have this new show. It's the best of the best. AGT All-Stars, you guys are one of the favorites of all time. How would you like to kick off the show? And we thought, wow, what an amazing opportunity. So you can't really say no to something like that.
I agree completely because this changes everything. This changes everything because I gotta say, Take On Me was fabulous. One of my favorite music performances from the season so far. And I gotta be quite frank and honest. You did not deserve to go through that crap that you went through with Simon. So guys, what I'm talking at is you they received harsh criticism from Simon after your performance for choosing your passion for dental care, which I applaud you, by the way, because not a
Thank you.
lot of people have said that to go and pursue their dreams and can not just get a living, but also follow their passion, which I applaud you for doing. But like, you also call them, he had the, and I'm sorry, Simon, that it was so rude of him to call you guys both of you born, because you guys were amazing. You guys, and for all of you who follow them, they're one of the best musicians, two of the best musicians I've ever seen on the show. But what went through your mind when Simon when Simon criticized you?
So it was actually a very, very weird feeling, and it came completely out of left field. We were the first act to start off, like Dariel said, and so we went out there, we gave our best with our performance. We got a 2 minute standing ovation from the crowd. Everybody was smiling, everybody was clapping, and it was just great. And it's like we were just standing there saying thank you, bowing, and we were just we got some positive comments. And then during that interview with the judges, it kind of took this weird turn where all of a sudden Simon's like, I love your performance, you're very talented, but I'm missing something. And we're like, okay. And he goes, what am I missing? And it was just the most like strange and awkward open-ended question you could ask. And we were like, where are you trying to lead with this? And he kept trying to put us into a corner to say something that he wanted us to say, and we didn't. And so then he just said, well, you're boring. And it was just the most strange interaction that we've ever had with anybody. And we had people from the audience come up to us after the filming of the show. And they were like, guys, what happened? And we're like, we don't know. They were like, it was so awkward. Like, it felt like they were trying to get you to say something. And they were asking us as though we knew. And we were completely clueless, like, where this stemmed from. And they said the entire auditorium just felt so strange and like cringe. Like, what are they trying? It was a very awkward situation.
Yeah.
And it just felt for us like it came completely out of left field. And for everybody in the audience, they said the exact same thing.
Yeah, just to add to what Emil was saying, talking to the people, the auditorium, the people that watched it go down after our performance, that was really interesting because they were so confused. Like, what were they trying to get you to say? Like, it sounded like he was trying to get you to think on your feet, to come up with a story, like a sob story, to come up with something sad, like what would make for good TV. And, we dedicate ourselves to our craft to share our music with as many people as possible. That's exactly what I shared there. It was an honest from the heart answer. We want to share our craft with as many people as possible. We don't have a sad story. We don't have a sob story.
Yeah.
We do this because we love music. We have a tremendous passion for spreading our art with people. And there's no sob story. And I guess Simon doesn't like that because it doesn't make for very sexy television. But we weren't going to cave in and come up with a story on the spot just to, come up with something for the sake of good TV. So
Right. And what was interesting was that this was not aired in the episode, but after Simon made his comments, Howie Mandel had a few nice things to say about us, and then after Simon made those comments, Howie said something to the effect of, "You guys are great, but sometimes being great is not enough." And we were just like looking at each other like, okay, like what are you implying by that? Like we had to add something else to add? Like it was a very, very awkward situation, to put it.
And I gotta say, Howie, what the heck? And I've had Howie on my podcast for Canada's Got Talent. I gotta say, what the heck? That was a very weird situation. I'm sorry you had to be in that situation. But let me just tell you something, because you're not the first act to have faced Simon's wrath. A lot of these Howard Stern acts of your era, probably one of the greatest eras of AGT, have faced criticism or got buzzed by Simon. In your humble opinion, why do you think your era gets harsh treatment towards your era? Why do you think Simon has done that?
It's really not for us to comment on what personal dislike Simon may have for Howard Stern. I will say this. We have nothing but positive emotions towards Howard Stern. He was I think I can speak for both of us, Emil, and saying he was our favorite judge always, because he always, whenever he gave criticism, it was thoughtful. Whenever he suggested something, he was like giving it in a way that I want to see your act progress and be better. I believe in you guys. I understand you guys, but here's something I can do. I could offer you to make your act better. And he understands radio and TV, and he's somebody whose opinion we really value. So I'm really not sure. There must have been some drama that went down to cause Simon to not like the Howard Stern era act, but we've always had great experiences with Howard Stern and thought he was one of the most thoughtful and really he gave some really good feedback, constructive feedback. So we really appreciated his perspective.
When we went on this show, our only intention was to just spread our, share our music, share our passion, and we didn't even think that this wasn't even a thought of ours, that there could be some kind of drama between people, or that we had to be aware of some kind of politics. Like we were not even considering that, and so it's something that I guess we realized after the fact, and we didn't even give it much thought. We really don't care what kind of drama people have. That's not for us to comment on. We're just there to have a good time, share our music, and hopefully inspire a few people.
Inspire you did, guys. Because, gentlemen, I got to say this. You guys were one of the bright spots of this series because I don't know what the heck is going on with the super fans. Because the thing is, you should be in the finale. Janique Fournier should be in the finale. Terry Fair, Christina Ray, some of the great acts. And I'm seeing, and I'm going to be honest with my podcast so far, as I'm seeing the show, I'm seeing a lot of great talent fly by the wayside. Astonishing talent like you should be in the finals over some mediocre acts. I'm talking to you, Detroit Youth Choir. But otherwise, but you guys will always be that. So what can you describe the feedback that you received from the fan base?
Yeah, well, the people who've been supporting us throughout all these years, we really like to call them our friends because they've been so supportive throughout the years, and they've really supported our dreams to pursue our passion for music and our career in dentistry. They've been so supportive and patient with us. Sometimes we're not the most active artists in releasing music all the time, but they've been very patient, understanding, and supportive with what our dreams are. The outpouring of support from both musicians, healthcare professionals, students studying to play an instrument, students studying to go into the healthcare fields. It's been so unbelievable. It just warmed our hearts. We could have never imagined that going on AGT-All Stars would generate so much love. And I think the intention of creating that scene, that tense scene that was created on TV, I think the intention of that was to create some drama, some controversy, just to stir some anger, I guess. But it ended up being so much love directed towards us. So we couldn't be more grateful for everybody who reached out, everybody who's been supporting us all this time. And one more thing actually that comes to mind. Some people asked about why we didn't mention our grandpa during this. And we want to make it clear. We talked a lot about our grandpa. Our grandpa's a central part of our story, as you probably well remember. He's the one who immigrated to this country, sacrificed everything to support his family. He taught us since we were both 4 years old to play the cello. And he's still somebody we talk to on a daily basis. And he's alive and well. One Reddit user actually posted, they were at the taping of this episode. So they saw it unfold in person. We walked out, they said, "Hey, so how's your grandpa?" I think it was Heidi, but one of the judges said, "So how's grandpa doing?" And we said, "Grandpa's alive and well. He's great. He has more energy than even we do." And that got a chuckle from the audience. And they almost seemed disappointed that our grandpa was doing well, like as if that wasn't a sob story. Yeah. And there's actually a chain of Reddit users online. If you search about Emil and Dariel AGT on Reddit, some users posted that I was there at the taping and that's what went down. So it's just unfortunate that they tried to cut out everything in our story that we tried to convey why we do what we do. Why do we share our music? They tried to make us as bland as possible, but I think overall people saw through what they tried to do in the edit.
Yeah, we had like 2 or 3 days of just interviews where they talked about that, and we told them our story. We told them what we've been up to, what we're pursuing in dentistry, how our careers have been since AGT, our grandfather, our entire story, everything was discussed in an interview. And then, when we got on stage and they asked, like, there's something missing, Simon said there's something missing. It was like he wanted us to kind of sum up everything that, like, our entire story in a like a sob story way, real sad, real fast. And it was just so, like, awkward and strange. And it was a very, very weird thing to ask somebody. We just kind of assumed that, okay, they interviewed us, they know our story. Like, you shouldn't just have to, have 30 seconds to explain the entire purpose of your life on stage after performing. It felt very awkward, you know?
It felt awkward for me watching that as well because I've been rooting for you guys. Every time they said, "Who do you want to see compete?" I mentioned you guys timelessly, and
Thank you.
and the time I do, this happens, and I'm so sorry that you had to go through this because, in all honesty, you two are probably one of the brightest spots in the music category, and a lot of people. And if I reveal my top 10, you guys are in my top 10 of all greatest music acts of all time. I believe I did that in 2010 to celebrate the 15th anniversary. You guys still remain one of my all-time favorite music acts.
Thank you, Jake. So what you're saying is all of this is your fault. This is because of you.
Yeah.
I don't have that credit. I'm sorry. I didn't want to be reality Steve or anybody like that. But I am so, so proud of both of you. I just hope that there's some new music coming soon because I love my picks of your music. It makes me happy. And it makes a lot of people happy too.
You know what, Jake? We're going to keep doing what we do, and we're going to be posting more videos, more content, and releasing more music, sharing what we do. It's what we love. And, any opinions of any individual people won't stop us from pursuing our dreams. So
Absolutely.
we'll keep on going and, giving back to our friends who've been supporting us so much throughout all these years. So we're going to keep on giving some good music to people.
I'm so happy to hear that because the thing is, I hope that it doesn't deter these people to audition. Because the thing is, as you know, season 18 is just around the corner and the judges are about ready to assemble a new act. So the question I have is, if you were approached by young musicians who are thinking about auditioning for a show, would you still give your advice would you also add a word of caution towards them after this experience?
So I think if you're a musician and you want to audition for a show like America's Got Talent or any of the Got Talent franchises, it's important to understand what your goals are. And I think it's an important discussion to have to understand that these shows are not the only way to achieve success, in this industry. If it's something that you want to do and you think that this will help you, by all means go for it. But the most important thing is to have a strong sense of identity, know who you are, and know what you stand for, and don't let anybody change that. So you have to always understand that when you go in front of judges, there's a risk they're not going to like you. There's a risk they may criticize you. And if you get criticism that you agree with or, is valid, sure, then you'll internalize and understand that. But if it's somebody just trying to humiliate you or make you seem like you're less than what you actually are, you have to understand that doesn't define you,
Yeah, just to reiterate what Emil said, I agree 100%. Know who you are as an act, as a person, know what your story is, and don't allow any person or producer to manipulate your narrative. Don't let them say, okay, this makes for better TV. I want you to say this line. If that's not who you are, don't say it. And you know what? If somebody says you're not enough for being yourself, for being your act, ignore that. That is total nonsense. You are enough and do what you know you're good at. So I would say go for it if you believe in yourself, and we'll be rooting for you if you do.
Gentlemen, this is the reason why I have 9 years after your audition, you have made an impact on me and the AGT audience. So I got a last question for you. Are you ready for it?
Oh, we are so ready.
Good.
All righty. Where can my audience find your music? And also, where can my audience connect with you on social media?
So social media wise, we're most active on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. That's where we post our videos. So anytime you see new videos, they're going to be going on YouTube. That's Emil and Dariel. If you just search EMIL ampersand DARIEL, you'll find us on YouTube. All our social media is EMILANDDARIEL. So add Emil and Dariel everywhere. And why not? Let's plug our personals. Emil, give your personal Instagram.
My personal Instagram is DOCTOREMILDMD. That's Dr. Emil DMD.
And my personal Instagram is @Dariel Cello. That's DARIELCELLO. So that's
We
where
also
you
have
hear.
music on Spotify and a few of those other streaming services.
Yep. So you'll hear whenever we post anything, you'll hear it from us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We'll be posting all of our latest content there.
Awesome, guys. Now it's time for me to start to do some plugins. For those of you, if you miss an episode of the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar podcast, this is our channels on Apple Music, Spotify, Podcast Addict, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Spreaker. And if you are on social media, I'm on social media too. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Jacob Elyachar, JACOB-ELYACHAR. And guys, jakes-shake.com is turning 11 this year.
There you go. Congrats.
That's good. And guys, if you want to see how I recap them and how I graded Emil and Dariel over the years with their music and their appearances and the original appearance on AGT, head over to jakes-shake.com. Emil, Dariel, I am so proud of both of you. You are two of the most amazing musicians. I'm so proud of your passion. Do not let the Simons or Howies get you down.
Will not. And thank you, Jake, for an amazing interview and for all your amazing articles. We've been reading all your takes, and you're awesome. Keep doing what you do, and we'll be reading everything you put out there.
Thank you so much for your support over these years. It's crazy how long we've known each other.
I know, guys. And guys, Emil, Dariel, thank you so much. And guys, thank you so much for listening. Until next time, have a great one, everybody. Goodbye.